The origins and early developments of theater in the West and the East are fascinating and complex. While there are some similarities between the two traditions, there are also significant differences that reflect the cultural and historical contexts in which they emerged. In the West, theater can be traced back to ancient Greece, where it was an integral part of the religious festivals and civic life. Greek theater was characterized by the use of masks, choral performances, and the performance of plays that explored complex moral and ethical issues. The works of playwrights such as Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides continue to be performed and studied to this day and have had a profound influence on Western theater. In Rome, theater was similarly tied to religious festivals and civic life, but it was also used as a means of political propaganda. Roman theater was characterized by the use of stock characters such as the braggart soldier and the clever slave, and the performance of comedies and tragedies that often dealt with political themes. In the Middle Ages, theater in Europe was largely tied to the Christian church and consisted of elaborate mystery and morality plays that were performed in churches and town squares. These plays often depicted scenes from the Bible or explored moral and ethical themes. In the East, theater has a long and rich history that dates back thousands of years. In China, theater can be traced back to the Shang Dynasty, circa 16th century BC, where ritual dances and performances were an integral part of religious and ceremonial life. Chinese theater continued to develop and evolve over the centuries with the development of various forms of opera, including Kungfu, Beijing opera, and Cantonese opera. In Japan, theater can be traced back to the No traditions, which emerged in the 14th century. No theater is characterized by its use of masks, minimalist set and costumes, and the performance of plays that explore themes such as love, death, and the afterlife. Other forms of Japanese theater, such as kabuki and bunraku, also emerged over the centuries, each with its own unique style and characteristics. One of the key differences between Western and Eastern theater is the role of the individual versus the group. In Western theater, the individual actor is often emphasized, with actors delivering soliloquies and monologues that explore their own thoughts and feelings. In Eastern theater, on the other hand, the emphasis is often on the group performance, with actors working together to create a cohesive and unified performance. The origins and early developments of theater in the West and East are complex and varied. While there are similarities between the two traditions, there are also significant differences that reflect the cultural and historical contexts in which they emerged. Understanding these differences can help us to appreciate the richness and diversity of theater traditions around the world.